Welcome to the Allenberry Reports TV show. I'm Allenberry Labucan, and I'm the editor of the Allenberry Reports and host of this show. Thank you for joining us today. One of the favorite things that I do on a daily basis is chatting with readers of the reports or viewers of the show on the phone or in person, and I really enjoy that because it gives me, I like that one-on-one sort of opportunity, and often I get a lot of calls when the market is quite volatile. I think part of the reason why I get a lot of calls during volatile market times is I'm able to keep a level head. And one of the key reasons that I'm able to keep a level head during volatile market conditions is because I stay focused on the fundamentals. What is basically happening with the market, with commodities, resource stocks, whatever is volatile, I try to then look at the fundamentals. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't also look at trading patterns, price patterns, because that is important when I'm trying to get an idea of what's happening on a short term, or look back and see what happened during critical times in the market. So I do keep an eye on that as well. But my main focus is usually on the fundamentals, and especially during volatile market conditions. Recently, one of my old golfing buddies and I had a chat over the phone. He had called me up because he's quite invested in silver, silver stocks and silver, the commodity as well. And he was asking me some questions, and when I got that phone call, and get similar type phone calls regardless of the commodity. I follow a lot of different commodities, silver, gold, copper, diamonds, oil and gas, uranium, and they all have similar fundamentals. And what I mean by that is I've spoken about this often in my reports, and is that for many years there was a severe underinvestment in exploration, new development, and production, and this has weakened the supply chains. At the same time, we've got strong demand coming from the developed economies as well as the emerging economies. And so when the markets are volatile and I'm trying to assess and have one of these conversations, I often go back to and talk about where are the fundamentals. And so when markets move up drastically or down drastically, I try to get an idea of, has anything really changed with the fundamentals? In the case of silver, it had come off of its highs of the last year or so, and so I looked at, well, has any new mines developed? Has supply or has demand all of a sudden slowed down dramatically? And that's always the starting point. And in this case, no, it hasn't. In fact, it's very solid. The supply is weak and demand is strong, and this is why we have a bullish outlook for silver and the other commodities that would follow. And so, having said that, me and my friend, my golfing buddy, we talked about how the fundamentals were, and nothing had really changed, so there was no reason to get overly panicked. In fact, I thought that the market was a little oversold and ready for a short-term pop. And again, the reason that I can come to these conclusions has to do with reviewing the condition with the supply and demand. Now, another thing that you have to keep aware of when it comes to silver is I often like silver more than I like gold as far as performance, and the reason is that usually silver will outperform when actually what happens with gold and silver is they tend to follow a similar path. When gold is going up dramatically, silver generally follows, and when gold is going down, silver usually follows. In fact, silver will often move up a little more on up moves and down a little more on down moves. So if you're able to withstand that extra volatility, if your timing is good, you can see very good results. Now, last show I talked about resource stocks showing relative strength. And what I mean by that is that, when the price of the commodities are moving up, they're moving up quite easily, and when the commodities are moving down, they're tending not to move down quite as much. And so if you are looking to take some of the volatility out of owning silver, but you still want to play it for the up moves, a real good way is to look at some of the high quality silver stocks. And so what I think you'll see happening is, if silver goes up, the silver stocks will move up, and they'll generally move up slightly more, or percentage-wise more than silver itself. Now, normally when silver would come off, often the silver stocks would get beaten up even more. But now with the relative strength I was talking about in silver stocks, gold stocks, these other commodities that I follow, they are taking out some of that down move on down days. So, in fact, I think that I'm a little more bullish on silver than I am on gold, and I'm a little more bullish on silver stocks than I am on silver itself. And as I said, with relative strength in the stocks, it tends to take some of that volatility out on the downside when silver's coming off. And that brings up another point that, even though you can be bullish on a commodity or a resource stock or the stock market itself, that doesn't mean that it's always going to be going up. During bull markets, you can have some fairly serious pullbacks, and that's just a natural part of the market. And so, even though you have these bullish outlooks, short term, sometimes you can see these pullbacks in a long-term bull market. And before closing, I'd like to stress this show and our reports are for information purposes only. We aren't making buying or selling recommendations, and it's important for you to do your own research and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. We're always trying to grow the audience, and if you'd like to help us, if you look below your screen, you'll see some buttons that will help you pass the shows on to other your friends that might be interested. You can use that by going through Twitter, Facebook, or you can email this video to your friends again that that you think would be interested in our reports. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch the show. We're well aware that everybody is busy these days, and we strive to produce a show that saves you time and gives you helpful, high-quality information. As always, we hope you can join us for future shows or visit our website at allenberryreports.com. Have a great day.